Wrap it up, nerd. Alright, I don't know what this is called, and I don't care. 2, 3, 4.
Welcome to the Chilled Out Trek Show. We are chilled, we are here, it's time to relax and talk about Stars and Auto's amazing holiday. How are you guys?
Excellent adventure.
You started out with such high hopes, going places and doing things, and now we spend all day on the couch watching old Star Trek.
And what's wrong with that?
And whose line is it anyway?
You say this as if this is what it was always going to end up being.
So we're here to kick back, we're here to relax and just talk about whatever. Ha! Good man for waiting for the actual show to start. Thank you for subscribing. 10 months! 10 months! Holy moly, has it really been that long since we've been back on Twitch? Feels like only yesterday we were like, fuck YouTube, we're coming back.
And Royker won't have to run off to work today, I hope.
That's true.
I wouldn't think so. Well, Saturday.
And everything's been on my end anyway. Yeah, we sat and recorded our thing for Stranger Worlds earlier, so this is like the second time we've seen each other. So we didn't have much small talk then, did we? We were just like run on episode.
Pike dies. Spoiler alert: Pike dies.
He does. He doesn't die though. The menagerie doesn't show that he dies. Sorry, we said no Stranger Worlds spoilers, but this is a TOS spoiler. So
it's not a spoiler.
No, it's not. He goes into the Keeper's sanctuary with Avina rejuvenated and into thinking. Can I say I'm very pissed off? I said this last night. I'm very pissed off because they've cancelled Star Trek London, and without
yeah,
due warning, they literally just went, no more tickets. By the way,
those Romulans.
Yeah. And they said, here's some tickets for a show in July, which is just the Comic-Con, which actually has a better Star Trek lineup, but I can't make it because it's like the wrong month. But they just suddenly went, just like, no convention. And I'm like, right, well, fuck it, I want a refund then. But we've still
not give a reason?
Apparently CBS didn't want to run 2 conventions, so they're only running the one in Germany instead. So there's only one in Germany, not one in London and Germany. So, yeah. So for those of us that have booked hotels and tickets and things, I think we're still going to go to London and have a meet up and go around some museums and shit instead. So yeah, it's a bit of a shitter.
That's a weird reason. We don't want to run 2 events. We don't want to cater to all of our fans.
Apparently COVID's, like, they're citing things like COVID and shortage and things like that. I'm just like, really? No. You did one last year in the height of COVID in November. Like, there's no reason you can't do one now. So I'm very pissed about that. So it's like, it was going to be my first ever Star Trek convention. I was going to meet up with you, Star. Well, we still can meet up, actually, because we're still coming to London, so... I think me, Cranky...
Yeah, totally. I can still get you a beer and tell you're a nerd.
As usual. But yeah, sadly that's happening. What a shame. What a bloody shame. How is everyone in chat today? How are you guys? Are you chilled? Are we relaxed this evening?
I see a no-name namer in here. Isn't he meant to be dominating this event?
Yeah, where is he? I haven't checked the leaderboards in a while.
He's over there being a Giga Chad, clearly.
Giga Chad. So come on, what do you have for dinner tonight, guys?
He's either about to tap out or he's going to grind for 48 hours straight. Whichever is more advantageous, that's the lie that we'll spread on this.
Of course, yes. I think he's going to give up at any moment. He doesn't have the balls to go number 1. He's not got the cojones.
I could think of worse.
Yeah, we saw Shy and Nifty Mittens get together.
That's great.
That was so adorable.
I didn't know that was happening.
They're about 10 times more handsome than we are.
Seriously?
So their get together was like.
Speak for yourself.
Every time I see anyone.
I'll try. Yes, I'll cede that point. I can't fight that.
Every time I see pictures of people, I'm just like, damn it, how are you so successful and attractive? Where does this go?
But why male models?
Yeah, exactly. Who are you hiring for this persona? Where did you get this person? Shire is actually a puppet underneath this mannequin.
I'm going all in. All right, Namer, when you win, we'll call you. We just finished watching The Royale.
Oh wow!
And so we'll give you truck stick Namer when he pulls the jackpot lever.
That's a really weird, like the way he does that is so stilted because Data rolls the dice, Riker then looks over and then goes, "Nyung."
That's not stilted. It's great.
It's very
Well,
strange.
to be fair, you're speaking to someone who, like, do you drive an automatic or idle?
No, I have a manual. I drive a proper car with real gears.
I don't believe that.
Oh,
Yeah, so
don't get me
Data's
wrong.
like-
I want an electric automatic car or whatever because I've been driving manual since I was about 18 and now I'm sick of it. I'd rather just push button go.
Oh, he's up to third place. Go, baby, go. Yeah, Data's like, sir, we need $3 more. And Riker's like, bet 12.3 million. So
Spreading around money.
Gambler
Spreading around.
little driving money. So come on, what was dinner? What was on the epic barbecue spread today?
Oh, yes.
Yeah,
Okay, let's see if we can recall. Cheddar stuffed bacon wrap burgers. That's the pièce de resistance. Spiced lamb. I think I got 5 pieces of that.
Yeah.
There was a
The fireman sausage.
yeah, sausage. The steak. There's bacon wrap sausage. There was merguez sausage. There was chorizo sausage. There was wild something sausage.
Wild Bratwurst, I think it was.
Steaks we had.
Yeah.
Wow.
Grilled queso, or cheese that you put on the grill that doesn't melt, but it gets all soft
Yeah, I
and
know the kind of
delicious.
stuff. Yeah, like halloumi kind of stuff.
Homemade potato
Yeah.
chips. Yeah.
Yes, or fries for the rest of the world. Yeah. And two of the guys canceled on us last minute, so we had about 50% more food than we intended.
And then
Can I give you guys my
same amount of
address?
beer, but that got polished off relatively quickly.
No, I've still got a whole case of it on the floor that
Stay with the
will
beer.
take me
It's
weeks
all
to
gone.
drink through.
Oh, Lord. Yeah.
No steamed hams.
I'm just saying, Roy Kirk says, my first automatic tranny car when I was 15. For those wondering, that's an automatic transmission, not of someone of derogatory terms. Twitch actually said, are you sure you wanted him to say that? I'm like, no, I know what he means. It's a British term, it's fine. But no, I prefer manual. You feel like you've got a bit more control, but yeah, I'm now old and lazy, and I just want to be able to go in cars. Like,
I never learned to drive
Did you not?
manual. No.
oh, you always done automatic. The thing is, you only learn manual here in the UK. Like, if you learn automatic, I don't think many people teach it. You only learn how to do the 5-6 gears.
Well, there's nothing to learn really with automatic, so.
No, they just let you go straight on the road.
Stop mowing down old ladies.
Exactly.
My dad rented a moving van once, and he left the emergency brake on the entire time.
Oh my god.
And he used to drive truck for a living, so I don't know how he managed to do that.
No, he wanted to ruin the van. He wanted it.
No, it was a friend of ours on the company, so.
I did that with the
felt
very
like
first.
He wasn't as good friends as you think.
The very first car I had, got given to me by my sister. It was like a 1980 something Ford Polo. No, Volkswagen Polo, sorry, wrong brand. And I was driving it. It was like, yeah, I'm taking it out, just passed my driving test. I'm going to go out. And I was like, fuck me, this is slow. Picked up one of my friends, go, look at my car. I'm like, something's not wrong. And she just looked down and went, your handbrake's on. Just loosened it. I went, whoa. I was like, oh yeah. It's like, Jesus Christ, it's just not going anywhere. That was a great car. They're like collectors. I wish I kept hold of it because there's like 80s Polos and Golfs and things like that. They're actually like collectors, they're highly sought
Yeah, for boomers.
I think this is an F-Reg Polo, so that'd be 80, 89, something like that, 88. That's a great car.
Getting old, idle.
I know.
Time is the fire in which you burn.
Yeah. Less of the burning, more of the fire. Now I have the same.
Yeah,
kind of
Shy
hatchback
points
car.
out, meanwhile, they had their 50th anniversary convention in New York City on the same weekend as one of the biggest fan conventions in the country, Dragon Con, so who cares what CBS thinks works? Well, they also think that delaying Paramount Plus launching in countries other than the United States for 2 years is a good
Yeah.
idea, because fuck everyone who
Yeah, because
doesn't live in the
CBS
United
All
States.
Access, and then that turned into. And not, that does, I don't think that
Yeah,
launched.
it had enough time to go through a rebrand before
Yeah.
it came out, so that kind of says it all, really, doesn't it?
Dude, all this streaming nonsense. Can I say bullshit on a Saturday stream?
Sure, why
You
not?
say bullshit on any stream.
It's so annoying. Everything's delayed. Everything's chopped up into regions. It's like cable, but it's
That's-
just going to get worse.
I mean, that
It's so
harkens back
annoying.
to the VHS, the DVD days. You had different, like 6 different regions on DVDs. So if you bought a Japanese DVD, like import manga you wanted to, or anime you wanted to watch, you had to make sure you had the right kind of DVD player that was region free, and you could only change the regions once every like 3 months or something. This bullshit is not uncommon.
Yeah. No,
Well, look, it's fine if you just sail the 7 seas, you know. It's
All
fine.
that, yeah.
pretty soon they're going to rent out each new Star Trek series to like a different company and make you subscribe to 8 different.
They did that.
Yeah, that was what I think now
Yeah,
they're
'cause
trying.
Discovery was on Netflix, Lower Decks was on Amazon Prime, was on something else, and then Picard was on Amazon
Okay.
Prime.
I don't know because I pirated all of them. So
That's what I was saying. But
I mean, I do have Netflix and
and
Amazon Prime, but it's like it's just more convenient to pirate it anyway because I'll load it
What
up
if?
the legitimate way, and it'll be like, "I'm sorry, we can't load this title right now." It's like, what the hell?
What if you could consolidate all your low-cost Star Trek shows under one streaming platform that is Paramount Plus?
Yeah, and
That
what else
apparently
has
is
it got
quite
on it?
shit anyway. The player's not great, apparently. From
I
what
mean,
heard.
we spent the whole weekend just watching Star Trek, so
Well,
maybe we
yeah,
don't need
but
anything.
We're
else.
a bit of a fringe case.
Which is what makes me weird why they do that. Why they're trying to put all of Star Trek under one roof when it's all right. They're obviously a huge fan base, but they should be spreading it out there to get more people in rather than kind of going. You watch
It's
that
franchising and merchandising, and otherwise there's no point.
We need spreading around shows like Riker and the Royale.
Yeah, need a good show to promote
Right.
the brand of other shows. You like this? Come inside, have more of this.
Talk to us about s'mores, stars.
Okay, so s'mores are, in this case, a very elegantly fired up marshmallows. 2 marshmallows, I believe, actually. You put on a stick that has been pre-selected and pre-cut. You hold it over the embers of a fire. It turns nice and golden brown if you can do it correctly, which auto can. And then, very quickly, you take 2 biscuits that are like a grain biscuit on one side, but mostly chocolate on the other side. And you hold it like that, and you push it down over the marshmallow, and then slide it off. And then you have in your hands molten sugar, with a very small surface area that is not molten sugar. It then proceeds to dribble all over your hand
And beard.
and beard, and crotch too probably. And then when you eat it, it's like eating liquid candy floss. And then you decide to take a bite out of it, and it's not as hot as you think it is. But it is far more sugary, so you take a bite out of it, and it's like, I immediately regret many of my decisions.
Girls, you better behave.
Speaking of things
Sorry,
dribbling in your
kids.
crotch, what have you got on there?
Okay, so like, I'm American, so I thought it was like a normal thing, but apparently everyone in Europe thinks it's weird, and I mean, it does hurt your teeth if you eat like 8 of them, but one or 2 if you're. Come on, dude, they did it on Star Trek.
Did
They
I?
roasted
Oh.
marshmallows.
Yeah, but that's
Come
probably
on.
I'm
like
not
sick
looking at
sugar or
Coke,
something,
McCoy, and
isn't it?
Spock as examples of good, healthy behaviour. I'm sorry.
I mean, I'm
doctor.
sorry, but you do want the Starfleet issue marshmallow dispenser, don't you? It's like,
That's true.
The marshmallow dispenser.
Marshmallow, sorry,
I think
yes.
it's- yeah.
no, I think we
So
just sort of
that's
like
my
a few times,
favourite
isn't it?
thing.
All right, sorry. So if you could tier this trip, 1 to 10.
Tier 1.
Really?
Yeah,
Automatically?
Yeah, automatically.
But there had to have been some devastating lows this last 10 days.
I think the lowest was when we got upset at each other over that pizza, and that was about it.
I haven't heard this.
And that was mostly me being a dick.
That was a cat fight.
Yeah, no, that was like that time we disagreed over a tier a little bit too hard, and then I messaged you about half an hour later, and I was like, I'm sorry, and you were like, it's fine, I'm sorry too.
I think the Star Trek game was probably our low point.
Well, that was because
You were properly pissed
I
off.
was. I got robbed.
You've got to expand. I've not heard either of these stories. What was the pizza thing?
Oh, also got some very, very lovely pizzas, but
It was dynamite and garlic sauce.
and they were a little bit too liberal with the garlic sauce, and by liberal I mean it covered about 50% of the surface area of the pizza, and I had to get rid of some of the garlic sauce before I could even have a single slice, and I was like, that's a bit too much. And I like garlic. I'm a big fan of garlic, but it was just too much of it.
Well, he waited till we got home. He's like, I just wanted a plain pizza. I'm like, why didn't you tell me that before?
You didn't ask me. If you just said the dough meat, I would have eaten that happily.
Well,
But it's like the garlic sauce.
Whatever.
And you got like multiples. You were going to get 3.
Get the fuck out of my house.
All right.
What's the other story?
All right. Save that. What about what Star Trek game is
This is a chill stream, damn it.
Yeah, I want the juice. It's chill for me. It's juice. Come on, it's the stories. Come on, tell me one of the gory details.
All right, so what was the highlight? The
highlight?
balls, the hot balls.
Yes, actually.
Excuse me.
So I think about like 3 or 4 days ago, we went to a really nice Japanese place in here called Oishi, and it's basically like a sushi restaurant. And they do some
Sushi and grill.
sushi and grill, yes, precisely. And they have an all-you-can-eat course, and it's like you do 10 rounds of 15 items.
Oh, 5 items per person, so 50 items per person.
Yeah. And we tapped out both times at round 4 because it's just too much to eat. It's just too much. And they had really nice salmon teriyaki. They had some really nice little chicken. They called them chicken katsu balls, but they weren't really balls. They were more like strings, and they were really nice.
Well, pieces of chicken.
What else do they have? They had some really nice yakisoba, which was really lovely. They had some nice mango ice cream and was it sesame and all the other kind of flavors?
Coconut and green tea and
Yeah, all those kind of flavors. And when I was there first time, I got octopus balls. I think they're called takoyaki, I believe they're called.
Yes.
And you get 2 of them on a little plate, and they are slathered in this very rich sauce. And like I kind of was like, okay, cool. I like a bit of octopus when it's done well. Because octopus is one of those things that if it's cooked badly, it gets incredibly rubbery and like unpleasant. It's like eating the tire.
Any shellfish, if you cook it too much, it's just
Yeah, it's a very fine balance. It's very rare that you can find like a decent restaurant outside of like an actual like seafaring country. Like Greece can do really nice like octopus and stuff like that.
We're probably 1,000 kilometers from the nearest ocean too, so
Yeah, so to put it in perspective, the octopus itself was actually quite nice. But the problem is the ball it is inside of is like superheated, like it's like the surface of Viridian. What is it? The star of Viridian star.
I'm distracted by my damn webcam and the brightness.
He obsesses over
it's
this.
been okay. It's been fine.
But anyway, yeah. So you bite into this octopus ball, and it's like searing hot. It's like
It is Hosprat levels of
heat. And so after your first one, I learned, okay, what you do is you jam your chopsticks in, you separate, and you let the heat kind of come out so that you can just enjoy it without burning your tongue. And then the second time round, we go with our good friend Ben.
Former faction event winner Ben.
Yes, he also plays the game. So while he was here, it was basically nothing but Star Trek and Star Trek Timelines references.
Dude, we were walking around town, literally just quoting, just like a big string of Star Trek quotes over and over, and
It's like what would happen if me, you, and Idol got together.
Yeah.
Literally the exact same level of nerdery.
he was a very poor, pale substitute idol, but we had to make do.
Oh no, come on! He was probably a magnificent guy.
Yeah, he's a lovely dude. But when we went there, I was like, oh, you should get some of the octopus balls. They're really quite nice. And I said, oh, you want to like jam your chopstick in there? You want to leave it for about 20-30 seconds so it'll cool off? And he was like, okay, cool. I'll give it a shot. I don't usually like octopus, but I'll trust your assessment. So he gives it 30 seconds. He pops it in his mouth, and he already had kind of a red face. I'm not sure if it was just a case of he just has a naturally red face like I kind of do, or if he'd been sunburned, because I've also been sunburned on the strip. Germany has...
What your Summersby?
Oh, I actually could go for Summersby, actually. Yes, thank you. Sparkling cider there, thank you. And he has like a normally kind of a red face. And watching him, after about 30 seconds, it was just like turning... like command red, command like security uniform red. Thank you. And I felt so bad because I had not intended this to be some kind of prank or jape. This was just like, no, give it 30 seconds. And I think it was around about a minute later he went, was not gonna.
He did that thing.
Wow.
And I felt kind of bad, but also it was fucking hilarious. So,
Long story short, yes, he liked the restaurant so much we went back 2 days later.
Wow.
yes, that's right.
It did look good sushi. Good sushi. Love good sushi.
The salmon teriyaki was just so nice. Like and they had these really nice tempura sushi rolls with I think it had like salmon paste and a little bit of like avocado or cucumber in it. It's fucking delicious.
There's a sushi place near me, and we've been there a couple of times, but they do like a serving platter, and they also do literally soft shell crab on just like a little rice thing, and it's literally a crab you eat with a soft shell. Like, it's not like a euphemism for like they're gonna chop it up, and you literally get the crab, they deep fry it and give it to you, and you just like, can I eat this? Is it gonna be crunchy? And it's not. It's so soft. It's really strange, but it's really nice.
Who's the trick character that grabs the crab and just break? Oh, it's Seven in her date with the guy from engineering.
Yeah.
It's like, I will replicate you a new garment.
Yeah, then they're gonna dance and she like dislocates her shoulder. We should watch that one.
It's one of my favorite Voyager episodes, actually. Someone to watch over me. It's a lovely episode.
Someone, yeah, the reason I love that song. It's a great one.
Don't even start.
My diction is incredible. How dare you?
We've been exchanging awful dad jokes, and we're burying this one in the ground. The from Code of Honor. So we decided
such a basic male image.
we decided we'll watch some really bad Star Trek. So I think we started with Code of Honor, and it was, dude, it's so.
Have you done
We
Angel
watched
One
the
yet?
half of CAG season 1, and we didn't
gonna
even
say.
have to stop the Netflix queue, really.
Yeah, it was just bad episode after bad episode.
Have you watched Angel 1 yet? I feel that has to be.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
gonna
Mrs.
say.
Biop. And fucking Trent, who's like 2 feet shorter than everyone else in the room.
So, did you realize, like, I pointed
What
out
is
to
with
me,
the sexist attitude? And Riker's standing there with his
the rug of love.
chest
yeah.
exposed.
Yeah, the thing with Trent, like the little twinkathon who like is in the episode, he is the guy who plays formless Lol, like
Oh,
before they choose
really?
a gender and like so. That is Trent from Angel One.
Wow.
He's also in Virtuoso, because the species who Doc interacts with are all like a foot shorter than everyone else. So.
That makes sense.
Yeah, so we basically watched almost all of season 1 by this point. Apart from the good episodes, we can't possibly watch those.
God, no.
You were saying about Code of Honor.
Oh, we did watch Family. That was a good one.
That was a good one.
Yeah, so Code of Honor, and, when Troy, for no good reason, sabotages her friend in front of the captain. Didn't you feel good when he, because he's a basic male image, so we've been wearing that joke real thin.
There's
The
that
first
early...
50 times we did it, we just kept on bursting out laughter
That's true.
every time.
Yeah.
It's starting to wear a bit thin now, but we'll keep on killing it.
Did you watch Justice?
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
And there's
About
lots.
this long, this thick.
Yeah, but I was thinking more of the conversation with Worf was like, don't Klingons have sex? Like, not the way. Isn't that from Justice?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I thought. I'm just
What
like,
about plain old basic sex?
Yeah, that's
For that, I would need a Klingon woman.
Yeah,
sure.
it's like you could just feel the male testosterone in the writers' room, just puffing out cigar smoke through the windows on that one, can't you?
We were kind of mystery science theory-ing all of these episodes. Maybe the three of us should get together and do that. We'll do the riff tracks
Yeah,
over
that'd be
top
quite
of these, and
I'll go for that.
I'll see if I can
What about you,
little
Arnold? What are you
silhouettes
up
of
to?
us that just move.
yeah, you'll the one with the hair. You'll be able to recognize.
Yeah.
Brutal. To yourself, no less. Yeah, what have you been up to, Idle? What have you been doing, having fun?
Went and played some football with my son today. Went and we kicked a ball about in the park today, and now I ache because I haven't moved that much.
Oh yeah, no,
in a while.
physical activity kills you.
Yeah, no, it's quite fun. Well, the funny thing was, we took the football because the boy, he's been kicking it around in our garden. We haven't got a large garden, but he's been kicking it quite high. And I say to him, look, you're going to kick it over the wall if you're not careful. So he said, well, there's a huge park near us. Let's just go there and kick it around and just do it around there. We did one kick and then went, I'm bored of this, and went and played on the swing. So there's me and my wife just kicking a ball about to each other. We're like, we don't look weird. We promise we've got kids. They're over there somewhere. But we were just like, oh, well, fuck it, we'll play football. So yeah, we
I
just,
don't know, there's a degree of romance in just kicking a
that was
football.
alright. That was a good bonding moment. And then our little son Ezra, he came up and just wanted to steal the ball, going, "It's mine!" I'm like, "No, we're kicking it." He would hold it and run away with it. And I go run after him and like, "Give me a bloody ball back, you little."
It's all mine.
It's all mine. But I tell you what, I did watch the other day the Michelle Yeoh's Everything Everywhere All at Once, which is so good. I have not watched a film.
I've
like
heard
that.
nothing but rave reviews.
It is. It's literally. I've watched Doctor Strange, The Multiverse of Madness, and then I watched this. And this is the real multiverse film. Like, Doctor Strange is okay, but it's like, they do a few multiverses. But this is definitely they go fucking
It's the processed hamburger meat of
it's insane. Like, it's funny, it's heartwarming, it's like, is it streamed? I don't think it is yet. Maybe, well, it might be. It must be somewhere. But yeah, it's and Michelle Yeoh is brilliant in it, and so is the actress that plays her daughter as well. It's kind of a little bit kung fu. There's a lot of sort of kung fu action stuff in it, but it's bizarre. But it's the first film I've watched probably since The Matrix, where I've walked into it not knowing what to expect and come out and just gone, that was absolutely amazing. Like, I kind of see a brief trailer and I thought, it's Michelle Yeoh. I've heard some good stuff on it. Maybe it'll be fine. And yeah, came out of it just going, this is one of the best things I've ever seen. Like, would fully recommend everyone go and watch it.
She's an incredibly good actress. She is.
Really
Like,
is.
I know she made her name big in the 90s with like Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon, and Tomorrow Never Dies, where I quite enjoyed her. Like, she was a little bit underwritten, but that's not really her fault. She still gave 110%. But I think she's had a bit of a renaissance in the last 10 years or so. Like, partly thanks to like Star Trek, where she got to just eat the scenery as much as she wanted every week, but also everything everywhere. It feels like that might be what propels her into. I hope it propels her into big superstardom.
So yeah, the actor that plays Short Round in the Indiana Jones films, he's in this as well, as playing her husband, but also her husband from different realities, and he is incredible. Like, he goes from like one persona to the next, really, and he does some really good kung fu moves in it as well. He like has a few little action sequences. Like, you realise like he hasn't been on screen since the 90s, and like, where have you been, man? Like, you're incredibly good. Like, it's worth a watch if you like kung fu movies, if you like Michelle Yeoh, and you like mind-bending multiverse adventures. It's great. full stars.
What about you? What are you down for? That? I mean, you can't watch it now, but is that going to be our recommended movie club?
Sure.
I'd say so. Yeah.
There's a lot of stuff I want to watch with them, and he's like, nope, saving it for my boyfriend. So they have such a long backlog. I'm like, come on, let's pick a few good things.
But no,
Like what?
All right, let me backtrack for a minute, because this is so bad. We were talking about Angel 1. Roy Kirk and Chad said that was Roddenberry all the way. He was sticking sex into TNG. And this is from Memory Alpha about the episode Angel 1. It's too late. I probably shouldn't have brought this up, or whatever. Right. An early story meeting about this episode was attended by Patrick Berry, Gene Roddenberry, and Herbert Wright. Wright was wary that the concept of a matriarchal society had been too overdone. Quote, so one of the major issues, we didn't want to do an Amazon woman kind of thing where the women are 6 feet tall with steel D cups, he recalled. I said, the hit I want to take on this is apartheid, so that the men are treated as though they're blacks of South Africa. Make it political. Sexual overtones, yes, but political. Well, that didn't last very long. Everything that Gene got involved with had to have sex in it. It's so perverse that it's hard to believe. The places it was dragged into is absurd. We were talking about how women would react, and Gene was voicing all the right words again, saying, oh, yes, we've got to make sure that women are represented fairly, because after all, women are probably the superior sex anyway. It's important we don't get letters from feminists, because we want to be fair, and we don't want to infer that women have to rule by force. Very sensible stuff. All of a sudden, something kicks in, and he changes and says, Gene says, however, we don't want to infer that it would be a better society if women ruled. His voice became increasingly louder. Roddenberry continued that this was because, quote, women were untrustworthy, vicious creatures, which he angrily blurted out in a torrent of hateful verbiage. Concluded Wright. Then he looks out the window, looks at the outline, and says, okay, on page 8, and continues like nothing ever happened.
I believe that 100%. I believe that. Having watched GNC Season 1, that happened.
Yeah, all of Season 1 does feel like, it feels like TOS Season 4, with a lot of the stories.
A lot of the stories were Phase 2 scripts, weren't they?
I mean, some of them were a reasonable premise, but it was executed like the writer's room is still all cigar-chomping old white guys, so I don't know. It was interesting. It's fun to riff. It's fun to riff on TNG Season 1.
It's more fun to riff on than like he was literally like, can we go through all the bad episodes? And we're just going through. Yeah, that's pretty bad, but it's not fun to riff on. It's like hero worship. That's bad in kind of a boring way. It's fine, but it's just like you watch it once, you never watch it again, really. And then it's like Big has pointed this out multiple times. It's Aquiel. I think it's like season 4 or 5 or whatever. And it's just the most. It's like coffee that's been put through a pre-used like drip feed 5 times and constantly filtered through until you have like the like spread over like a massive bottle of water. You have like 1 drop of coffee, and that's the amount of good Star Trek in that episode. That's how much has been filtered and distilled and just ruined. And it's just like, I have to wonder, just like that. Because you were talking, I think, about another episode where they were like, some episodes, like, you know, you have time to work them out, and you pull them back, and you throw another script in their place so you have more time to refine it. Yeah. And then sometimes, like, time creeps up your back, and you just have to throw it out there. And Aquiel feels like one that got thrown out there.
It's such a shame, too, because Geordi gets so few, you know, decent romance. I guess that's a cross to bear, but...
And it's not like LeVar Burton is like bereft of romantic chemistry. He can do romantic. Just stop writing Geordi like a creep.
Also, you know, he's kind of hot, so...
Yeah. Like, we were watching Insurrection with the commentary, which I think you and Ben got a massive kick out of. Because it's Marina Sirtis and Jonathan Frakes being absolute goofballs. Marina Sirtis is something special.
I think she watched Insurrection once when it came out, and then not again until I did this commentary.
I think she said so as well. Yeah, she's like, I was at the premiere. I might have remembered it, but football. Yeah, she's way big into football. And what was it? Oh god, it was the scene where Picard and Geordi are looking out at the sunset, and he's talking about like, you know, it's like, that man is beautiful. He has the most beautiful eyes. And it's like, A, why did you have to cover him up and make him the blind guy when you had to cover up the most expressive, beautiful eyes? And B, why are you wasting him on mooning off to Leia Brahms in like 3 timelines?
To be fair, his relationship with Leia Brahms, by the end of the second time she came on, was about the healthiest he had had with a woman. So,
and she was married.
Well, yeah, I mean that's what sort of made it easier. Once he stopped trying to be so desperate and could just like.
I wonder if we'll
so you're saying that the moral is just be relaxed and let yourself be yourself.
Yeah, it's all about confidence.
I wonder if we'll find out whether
you must let them see the fire in your eyes.
What kind of situation he's like in season 3? I wonder if they'll get into like he'll be there with the family of holograms, or we'll just be
spoilers. Spoilers.
Well, no, we don't know. Well, yeah, everyone knows he's coming back. But
I swear to God, if they put Geordi with Leia Brahms in season 3 of Picard, I'm going to be really annoyed.
What's the actress up to now? Is she still around? She's still working?
Actually, he's going to be married to Lieutenant Benteen in the future, and they're going to be.
I'd actually be okay with that. Yeah, that one would be like just enough of it. Like, okay, you sneaky fucks. All right, fine. You get this one.
You see the meet, and they'll be like, "You remind me of someone. I can't quite."
You know, and in the background, you see someone carrying like a portrait of like Leia Brahms, head of the Daystrom Institute. It's like, you remind me of someone. Whoop, I don't know who you mean.
It'd be like Worf and Riker, like looking at each other in the background.
Yeah. They look at each other and then just don't acknowledge it and move on.
Yeah, so in future All Good Things, they did say he mentions his wife Leah. I think that's when they're in the vineyard and he's talking to Picard.
It is meant to be Leia. I don't think they say it's Leia Brahms, but I'm pretty sure it's meant to be.
Well, he says Leah. He doesn't say Leia Brahms.
Yeah, but it's the implication. So they could take the way out of it's not Leia Brahms, just another.
It was an alternate future.
Yeah, well, to be fair, I'm still. If I were Marina Sirtis, I'd be really pissed off. This like here's the finale, and a full third of it you're not in it because we decided you died so that Riker and Worf don't like each other. Dude, that's a bit of a piss take, really.
Chakotay?
Yeah. Well, you know what? They do make up for it by Riker not being in the past timeline. That's something, I suppose.
Well, at least everyone was in Turnabout Intruder.
Oh god,
we watched that one too.
Yeah.
Isn't that bad?
Dude.
What a way to end your series.
He hates it. Dude, he hates her womanhood.
Just watch like the first 3 minutes of that, where it's Kirk at her bedside, and she's like, "I have to suffer the indignity of being a woman. I hate myself because I'm a woman." I'm like, oh my god.
I don't think Star Trek has ever made a stronger decision than saying, no, she was out of her fucking gourd. Of course there have been female captains. Look at Erica Hernandez. Yeah. Look at Captain Giorgio. Look at all of these female characters who have been captains. She was out of her fucking mind.
They were going to do another 3 seasons of TOS, and then that abomination aired. They're like, all right, we can't do any more Star Trek.
Well, you pointed this out when we watched them both. It's like, why would you put Turnabout and Intruder as the lot? Because you have to choose what order they go out in.
They had to know.
I think they knew a while before, but they had already seen and
but the second last one
nice.
Was Sarpedon and Mr. Atos and
Return to Tomorrow? Or?
Yeah, or All Our Yesterdays, whatever. Return to Yesterday. Yeah, I mean, there's some good Bones and Spock stuff in there, and it's like that would have been infinitely preferable to Kirk prancing around the ship and being hysterical.
But hey, we got the motion picture out of this, so there you are. It all turned around in the end.
Did it?
It turned about in the end.
In Intruder.
So I feel like we've been running over Idle the whole time.
It's fine. I'm here to chill out and let you guys just regale me with stories. I'm happy just to put my feet back and entertain.
So we did watch Family recently.
Oh yeah.
Or no, not Family. The Perfect Mate.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes. Famcade.
And I love Patrick Stewart is
so dreamy.
Oh no, he's so good in that.
Oh yeah.
Especially the end when he goes. His scenes with Famke are really good, and then at the end when he goes to confess to Bev, and it's the body language, the act is so good. It's so good.
It is literally Shakespearean in how much he gets across in body language.
It was Shakespeare trained to sort of portray this emotion in certain bottle scenes, you know.
Well, I mean, because you think, all right, the goofy Ferengi at the beginning, and then like she's just there to seduce men and stuff, and it doesn't sound like a great episode, but Patrick Stewart is so good.
If you took the exact same script and synopsis and made it a TOS episode, it would be fucking abominable. Because I'm pretty sure that's what, like, a lot of Troyes is basically that, right? But this is taken in such a much more, like, sweet and delicate and melancholy direction, and it's like, it's a one and done and never gets referenced again, but it is just, like, genuinely just like, oh, that sucks. That fucking hurts.
That was the episode that made everyone kind of go, wait, no, Riker's not the playboy, it's Picard. Like, in Riker Riker's still moving after Troy, and Picard's the one that's going, I'm going to...
Oh, so, after she hits on Riker, he leaves the room, wipes the lipstick or whatever off his mouth, and then he goes, Bridge, if you need me, I'll be in holodeck 4, and he walks off.
Yeah. That's literally the genesis for that lower deck joke. That's where it came from.
Chat, what does Riker do when he goes to holodeck 4? Is it like a workout regimen to blow off some steam? Is it a cold bath, or does it go, you know?
I think he's going to go run in the holodeck program he found Data in for the first time, just jump into the pool of water that Wesley fell into.
He mounts a chair, yes. He swings his leg over a chair, and women alike.
Oh, dear.
Alright, I tell you what, while we're here, since we're here, I think we might pull an all-nighter tonight on our last evening together. Chat, give us a couple recommendations for episodes.
We've mostly stuck with TOS and TNG, so if you want to go a bit out there, go for it.
Either really good or really bad.
Miri!
No, we watched that. We watched like half of it. It's so bad.
Not that bad. It's got to be like funny bad.
Okay. See, I've got to say, the ones I'll probably recommend you've probably seen early seasons. You've done Move Along Home?
Yeah, but we kind of have an affection for that after having done your Star Trek Adventures thing, it doesn't hit the same.
And not bad episodes. Why not do a little Ferengi marathon? What about Ferengi? Ferengi marathon. Do the best DS9 Ferengi episodes. Get like the Nagus and do like Family Business.
We did the Magnificent Ferengi, I think, was on the list somewhere.
That's a really good episode.
Dude, the part where they do the trial run to save Moogie and Lek just shoots her. He's like, oh, we're getting out of here anyways.
Is that the one where they go to Empok Nor with Iggy Pop? Or is that
yeah.
It's such a weird gonzo episode, but it's just so much fun.
Scholar, it's good to see you, my friend. I think we can do Night Terrors. Is that where she's floating in 2 moon circles?
2 moon, 3 half circles. Oh, I don't know if I can...
No, I think that's good enough we can laugh at it. We'll do Night Terrors.
Let me have a look through the collection. That's going to be a classic. Oh, what about Vantica Bashir?
Up in the children's show lead.
I've never seen it. I just know that it's meant to be awful because it involves like child actors in the '60s. That's generally a recipe for awfulness.
They just stare there. They pump their hands, and then bad things happen.
Oh, when the bow breaks. When the bow breaks.
When the bow breaks.
When the bow breaks.
It's kind of boring.
It's bad. Yeah, true.
It's a bunch of old people on Wesley. Trekkie for Life and chat. We watched Doomsday Machine today, and I uploaded it.
Sorry.
I uploaded a video of the suspense trigger in our Discord channel, so you can go find that.
What about The Passenger, the Vantika Bashir one?
No, I don't want to do it.
You just don't want to.
Actually, I might want to watch it.
If Wishes Were Horses?
I'll fall asleep while you do.
No, dude, we'll riff on it. I hate it so much, but...
Man, is Alexander Siddig like the worst of all? Like, because everyone's a little bit rough in season 1, right? Like, no one ever hits season 1 running.
He's really bad.
But I think he may be the actual worst actor in all of Star Trek for that first season.
I like him best when he's serious. When he's doing his job seriously, then he's good. But if he tries to mess around a little bit, I don't know.
He can be a good sassy one. There's a really good one in Way of the Warrior where they beam Dukat over from the exploding ship. I think it's where we get the Prakash from in timelines. And he's like, hey, I should drink.
Okay. What about TAS? Do the Jihad with Ian Green and the
That's like one of the few that I've actually watched those.
You should, you should watch that. Or maybe the Slaver Weapon, the actual Kazinti one as well. Actually, you should do some... Oh no, I tell you the one you should watch.
We could do some Taz.
I've never seen any of it. So.
We could watch what is it, Counterclock Incident?
That's okay.
Oh, with
why isn't Robert April black? This is egregious.
Well, you see, when you get older, all of the melanin drains out of your pores.
What's the one with Lucian in it? Is that
something magic? Something?
Oh, the Magics of Megas 2. Yes, watch that one. It's weird. Yeah, definitely. The Magics of Megas 2. I would recommend because it's so bizarre.
So Netflix, I think, has every series, all the old Trek except TAS. They're like, it's not good enough for our catalog.
Does it not have TAS? I think that's what it does.
I don't think it does.
Let's check.
Some bad.
Yeah, but with Bashir, it's like Dukat doesn't want to submit to the changing screening process. He's like, I find this procedure offensive.
I find you offensive.
Yeah, I find you offensive. Now hold out your arm or I'll get a security officer to do it for you.
That is a top shelf Bashir.
Like, that's a really good Bashir moment.
Hang on, I think I have that as a trigger somewhere. I can't find it. Someone in chat trigger. Oh,
First episode of this book? No. You know what? I wouldn't mind watching the Mud Time Loop episode.
What?
Never mind.
Did it play?
It did play, but I've
Incredible.
It didn't work. It should work now. Try again. Hang on. There we go.
I find this whole procedure offensive.
I find you offensive.
Yeah. Is there any bad, is there any laughably bad Voyager episodes?
Threshold.
Dude, there's a lot, actually.
We already did that.
Threshold is too memeable, though. It's like...
No, it's too easy.
Is there anything that's on the scale of bad of, Angel 1 and Justice?
There's got to be some,
Let me
right?
search bad Voyager episode.
And then we just get a fanboy saying,
oh, you know what? The Darkling, where Doc tries to... That's probably Doc's worst episode, where he tries to incorporate all the different Edgar Allan Poe characters or whatever.
Yeah, Tattoo is pretty bad.
Dude, how's Fairhaven on this list? That's a great episode.
People remember it being bad.
Fury's bad, yeah.
Once Upon a Time, I have a soft spot for Once Upon a Time.
Trevis and Flaughter's bad. Spirit Folk is bad. Oh, Favorite Son.
Favorite Son is terrible. You know what? That one might be fun enough to do.
Threshold. How's the the fight is rated worst on IMDb?
That's not the worst.
It was
It's not
Chakotay.
even the beginning of the worst. Wait, did someone say The Killing Game? Fuck you.
What? No, Killing Game.
Fuck you, random person on the internet. Killing Game is great. I'm angry.
I think it's a lot less, though. I think you can pretty much pick any Voyager. Even the worst Voyager is better than... or is better than the worst or the best TS. Oh, well, no, you know what I'm trying to say. It's of the worst episodes, they are on the higher end of it, maybe.
He wants to watch TOS with me because he won't watch it on his own, so...
It's true.
It's true, dude. If you watch bad stuff with your buddies, it's a lot more bearable.
And then I can lean in and be like, Spock's sister was a lot cooler. It's canon,
We are staying away from Discovery, I'll say that much.
You like that Mod Time Loop episode, and it's a really good
good
episode.
That one was okay.
Saxophone.
I don't think he's half as good as Roger Carmel.
Well, who could be?
So
That man is so larger than life, he can't be contained in a mobile game.
actually,
That's the reason he's not in Timelines, yeah.
Yeah, that's the reason.
I watched Mud's Women recently. Okay, I Mud, the one where it's the planet of androids. That one is absurd and funny.
Yeah.
Mud's Women is like, ooh, this is very 60s.
Yeah, because isn't it like we've got to cut off a load of women to give to the miners?
Yeah,
It's like,
the frontier miners need their women, so we transport them, and then she cooks and cleans for them, like, voluntarily. And it's like, what?
That's the nuclear
Like,
family,
I
isn't
wanna
it?
see,
That's
like,
your 50s
TOS
ideal.
Enterprise, but it's like a dorm room where like everyone's got their knickers all over the floor, and people have got loads of plates they haven't bothered to clean out, and there are pans. Someone like picks up a pan from like Kirk's desk, and it's like, Captain Kirk, this pan is rusted through, and he looks through it at them, and it's like, it's an illusion.
Yeah, that's kind of
It's just like a boys'
that's bad
club.
on both sides, isn't it? It's kind of made the men look bad and makes the kind of the women not look too flattering, doesn't it? It's sort of just like, but it's like Kirk's just like, okay, we've delivered your women, off we go. It's like there's nothing wrong with this at all.
Oh, you know what we did watch? We did watch Charlie X. That's real bad, man.
Yeah.
It's basically just a rejected Twilight Zone script done badly.
The difference is bad TOS makes you feel bad, like inside. It makes you feel like a bad person. But like early TNG is more like you laugh at it rather than you feel real bad inside.
Well, yeah, because even at its worst, it's like this is a world in which people don't get headaches, people don't get common colds. Nothing bad ever happens. No one is ever angry with one another. It's all perfectly utopian.
Biofilters
Don't
never
worry.
work.
Rev DeMar, don't you run down Seven Brides for Seven Brothers. I absolutely love that movie.
That's a really good movie, actually. Yeah, like especially that opening number, like "Bless Your Beautiful Hide." That's a really good song.
I mean, at the beginning it is, like the women are a sack of feed and I'll take one back with me and get married. But by the end, the women shape up the men and they're properly embarrassed and they're sleeping out in the barn. So
And that dance number where like they're putting up the houses, and so that's some impressive dance. Like,
Yeah,
that's
the
a
barn
proper
raising.
Rogers and Hammond.
Yeah.
Sorry, we've turned this into a musical thing.
no, all right, we're gonna watch that one after this
I'm all right with
because I love that movie.
You guys got enough time to watch everything on this list. So your
We'll
head
just
back.
put it all in like a melange. Like it'll go from like episode 3 into Seven Brides and Seven Brothers, and then suddenly shift into Voyager.
You're going to be so confused on that flight home, aren't you?
Rev DeMar, I have to disagree with you about Charlie. Charlie X is not a good episode. It made me feel bad.
The funniest thing is just when his eyes roll back in his head, he's like, "Whoa," and all of a sudden someone turns into a lizard.
Yeah. Like, I feel bad for Yeoman Rand. Like, you know what? Of all characters that need to come back for Strange New Worlds, I wouldn't mind her coming back and getting a complete makeover, because her character is so badly handled in TOS. It's
How
embarrassing.
could you do it, though? Because what kind of point... Because she's fresh on the Enterprise during... Like, when it's...
Oh, yeah, because that would be the most egregious of
Well,
canon
no,
problems.
but I'm just
Strange
saying there would
Worlds.
have to be, like... She'd have to be real young at that point. I don't know.
Oh no, she got her mind wiped by another probe and she forgot everything.
And then so we were watching Miri too, and at the end she gets like
They made
the
another
disease
one?
or whatever.
Miri
She's
2?
all-
Sorry.
Electric Boogaloo.
Sorry.
It's a shame he's the one running the stream. Otherwise, we just end call and keep going.
You haven't done that before.
No, so she's got these like sores all over her, and she's all ugly. And then she looks at Kirk and she starts crying. And she goes, "I just wanted you to notice my legs." And I'm like, really? Like she's about to die from this disease, and she's worried about being pretty for Kirk. It's like Rand got the short end of a lot of sticks on.
Yeah.
The fact that she stuck around for like the movie and Voyager and stuff, it's like
It's like she had a weird loyalty for how badly the show treated
good
her.
for her.
Grace Lee Whitney, that's the one, yeah.
Yeah,
She
Grace
came
Lee
back
Whitney,
for transport a murderer around. Well, it wasn't her fault, really.
You know what? Maybe those people deserved it.
So Mac, what a dick.
Little did you know she went off to a penal colony and turned into the executioner.
That's why you didn't see
This
it.
yeoman ran in an executioner's hood, like, into the transporter booth you go. No, she has the murdering booth from Angel 1, where they go in and they destroy vases. Crystal ball.
Trent comes out with this crystal ball, and when he touches it, everything inside this little area evaporates in a Max Headroom style TV static effect. So at the end of the episode, they're going to beam up. Riker contacts the ship. They all go stand in the murder hallway and beam up from there. I'm like, did you guys really need to move to the one spot in the room that will instantly vaporize you if someone touches an item?
The murder hallway. I approve of the murder hallway.
The old suicide booth.
Also, shore leave, TOS shore leave. That could have been right. That could have been the planet Risa.
Yeah.
If people weren't like jerks about their thoughts, you know what I
That
mean?
has a weird ending, doesn't it? Because it's all like this big mystery, and all of a sudden they're just like, "Oh no, it's just a practical joke. Come, enjoy yourself." And McCoy walks up
the
to
guy
him with
comes
his
out
arm
and
and
is
is like,
like,
"That's all fine. Nothing's wrong here." Did someone die?
I mean, that's TOS in a nutshell. Like, we got like status quo repaired in 5 minutes to get it fixed.
Actually, I do love that part. So Kirk in that episode, his greatest desire to relax is to go beat up his old tormentor Finnegan. And then in another episode...
You can call him a stereotype, it's fine.
Is it the Paradise whatever?
Yeah.
Where those little spores make Spock fall in love with Layla?
Yeah.
Yes. So the spores give you, like, your greatest love or whatever. Except Kirk loves the Enterprise so much that he's naturally immune to the spores.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. He's the only one.
Yeah,
on the
not
ship.
Carol Marcus, not Ruth, not Antonia.
It's the Enterprise.
This
the
side of
Enterprise.
Paradise.
Thank you, this side of Paradise.
She does have very ample nacelles. I can understand why people wouldn't.
But the only way you get Spock back on his side is by attempting to beat him up, or get him.
Yeah,
to beat
well,
him
you
up.
have to get angry.
He gets
He
easily
racially
angry.
abuses him too.
Yeah, which fair enough. If that's going to get him angry, that will do it. But there you are. Yeah, I didn't mind that episode. I did mind when I was doing my TOS rewatch. I thought it was entertaining for the most part.
It was fine.
Yeah.
And actually, it gave me Caretaker vibes. How when they first beam over to the Caretaker's array, they're on this like farm, checking everything out.
Angel Man.
That was probably the most TOS-y that like Voyager got, because most of Voyager is very TNG, but that was kind of TOS-y, that caretaker
They had
bit.
their moments.
We watched Up the Long Ladder because that was on our bad episode kicks. That was an interesting one.
What's the name? Brenna
Brenna Odell.
Brenna Odell. That's the one. Yeah.
Irish or stereotype.
Haven't you ever seen a woman before?
Oh,
Until now, I thought I had.
Oh, that was a good line. Yes, yeah, she asked Riker, I haven't seen a woman before. He goes, I thought I had. And I'm like, oh, I wish I thought that.
Clearly, you would just fall into Jonathan Frakes' bearded bosom so easily, you slut.
Yeah, I would. We all would. Come on.
That reminds me of the conversation he has with Guinan when he's trying to convey to Wesley how to talk to women. They just get so engrossed. He's just like, "Shut up, Wesley."
Shut up, kid.
A universe where your eyes are the stars and the universe worships the night.
Then I'll learn how to fly.
Yeah. I don't think this is working, Commander. Shut up, kid. What are we watched? What is it? Q Who? Where we get Marshall France Q.
No, it's Haydn Q.
Okay, Haydn Q.
yes, yeah,
Marshall France Q, and Wesley gets
On that
run through
painting.
with the bayonet.
Yeah, so but that's the thing. You forget what the layup is for that. Is that Worf goes in there and he tries to take on an entire platoon of these pig-faced soldiers.
Wait, hold on. So, Worf goes in.
Yeah.
He gets killed first. No one else makes a move. No one moves to help him. No one moves to grab the body. Wesley is the only person in the entire away team who cares enough about Worf to go try and save him, and then he does.
And then they're worried. They're like, "Oh well, the boy's dead.
Yeah.
That's a problem."
Wesley, the boy.
Picard's like, "Look, if I don't get that boy back, I ain't getting no nookie."
Meanwhile, Riker phones up Picard. We lost another Klingon. Jesus, the naked. Okay, there you go. You should do Naked Time and Naked Now in consecutive
I already
order.
did naked.
Oh yeah, we already did that.
Right, okay.
I love how Bev is always the last. Actually, that's a really common trope. I think it happened in minor spoiler, Strange New Worlds, where it's like the doctor's always the last one to get infected, even though they're in constant contact with all the patients. It's like,
Is that the only one that remembered to wear gloves, obviously?
Well,
I
yeah, I
guess.
mean, speaking of when we're in the pandemic and everything, my wife who works in hospitals, like me and all my boys have had COVID, and she's not had it once. So, and she works in a hospital as well. So, it's infections are funny.
strong immune system.
Yeah.
Truth in television.
Yes. Yeah. Works in television.
Yeah, Angel 1, Cranky. That's what I was thinking about. Yeah, so Angel 1, they all get this infection. Everyone is wiped out except for Data because he's immune. So they beam him up to be in control of the ship. And they're like, all right, we've got to get back to the neutral zone, before the starbase is destroyed.
Oh, yeah.
So when they think it's time to go, they contact him, and Data goes, actually, you have another 48 minutes. And he calculated the amount of time the starbase can withstand the attack from the Romulans before it gets destroyed.
If they get there at maximum warp.
So their plan is to stay on the matriarchal planet and argue with like Trent and Beata for another 48 minutes while the Romulans are hammering the starbase and hope that the shields hold out.
For an 80s, like, Styx reject.
Yeah. So,
But you're forgetting the worst part. The worst part is that they get this all wrapped up, like, right down to the wire. They all get back on the Enterprise. And then when they're about to jet off to the neutral zone and solve the problem, not only do they have enough time to do a TOS jokey, like the Picard so horse he can't give the order, and then they go off at, like, warp 5. It's like you couldn't pick it up the pace a little bit. Like,
Is that the one where
yeah,
it goes
like,
warp
fuck
6? Is that the one?
yeah, Riker goes, Khan, warp 6, and Geordi goes, I serve full impulse.
bust you down, Anderson.
That's what you get for having a blind man at the con. What's the heading, Geordie? I don't know. Always
You
makes me,
said it, not us.
You can stand on that hill alone.
yeah, that's fine. Always makes me laugh though because they do the whole thing in early TNG where they say the Geordie vision, don't they? And then Picard's like, "What's that there?" It's Commander Riker, sir. And like you never kind of see him looking at control panels or anything, but like they never ever revisit that until you get to when Lursen Beta or when the Romulans take over his visor and sort of look through it, and then it's absolutely fine.
Look, when they upgraded his visor, they did a real good job. Okay.
Okay, so we were watching Starship Mine, the one with Commander Hutchinson. Call me Hutch. So their plan to disable the bad guys is to use Geordi's visor to create like a hydrosonic pulse that will knock out everyone except Data. So while they're trying to buy time for this, Riker goes over, does a little small talk, knocks one of the guards out, and then gets attacked by the other one and overwhelmed. And I'm thinking, you have 4 people there, including Data, who is physically, mentally superior to everyone. Why didn't you guys just jump those 2 guys?
2 guys with guns. That's it.
Yeah, Riker knocked out one of them on his own. Like, why didn't you just do that instead of a hypersonic pulse?
Like, Troy, how about you give that guy a clothesline and you go and break that guy's neck and boom, the problem is solved.
a German suplex or something, yeah.
Look, I'm just saying, Star Trek would benefit from more suplexes.
I like this from Cranky. They have all these amazing sensors in the Enterprise, but in the early episodes, Picard regularly sends Geordie to the observation deck so they can get a...
What do you think, Geordie? It's not quite solid. Yeah, the sensor said that, thanks.
I mean, yeah, to be fair, there's lots of times where they're in a nebula and they could just look out the window and see the ship, but instead their sensors are blind, so they don't know where they are.
Yeah. It's funny, though, but I do like how they kind of don't... Like, they did the early TNG to go, yes, this is a blind man, they address it, but then they just don't mention it, and he just carries on as normal, which is another sort of plus point to addressing disabilities, and it's quite a nice sort of thing. A lot of people, I remember saying, they were looking at Geordie as like, oh, this guy's, succeeding over his adverse conditions and things like that, so that's a plus point in that, in that favour.
I love that he he's kind of sort of once in a while tempted by real sight, but he's also pretty comfortable with it. He's like, no, I'm happy with who I am. And
there's an episode where I think it's season 1. Him and Beverly are talking about, he's saying, she going, I can. Always Pulaski even as well. He even says,
yes,
I can do stuff to your eye. I can fix your eyes. I can do this, but and there's all these side effects listed on. And he goes, no thanks, and he sort of puts them back on. He says, I'll just take the painkillers and live with it. Because he has problems. Like, his visor causes him headaches. Like, there are severe medical complications he has. But they never kind of... I mean, obviously, you know, it's serialised TV. You know, they don't... No, sorry, not serialised.
Well, the amount of times his visor gets taken over, like, I can think at least 3 times it gets taken over that causes a diplomatic incident and or gets multiple people killed.
Yeah, you'd have thought that maybe Starfleet Command would be like, do we have a problem here? Should this have network attachments to it? Maybe we should turn
Well,
the
that's
Wi-Fi button off.
what the explanation was for First Contact, was like the idea was after the Structure Enterprise D, Starfleet Command did an investigation. They were like, look, buddy, you can either get the implants or you're getting taken off the flagship because we are not losing another ship just because of your fancy like band-aid. It's like, alright, fine, give me the implants.
We really should have gotten more of the... You know, we get the deal with it GIF with Riker's beard coming down. We should have gotten the deal with it GIF with, like, Geordi's visor coming down from the ceiling.
Has to have like a cigarette coming out of the corner of his mouth, like.
Yeah, cranky. Hide and Q. Riker gives him sight. He doesn't want it, and he also gives Data, or before he can give it, Data goes, "No, don't make me human." You know, it's the he at that point he realizes the struggle is what's important.
Yeah. We also talk about the fact that like every single time someone needs to express sexual interest or like the idea of a woman, just the concept of a woman in TNG season 1, they instantly default to Yar, the victim of the rape gangs. Like Geordi gets his vision, and he looks at Tasha, who I think he has had maybe 2 conversations with. He's like,
"You're more beautiful than I imagined."
And it's like, I'm sorry, what? Why? Look at Troy, or is that like off limits because Riker's scent is all over her? Like, what?
Jesus Christ.
That's the way that the script treats it. It's so weird.
As was said in chat, that's probably Gene's fingerprints on season 1.
Yeah. Alright. Something a little bit more positive. So, say you guys are crewing your own starship, right? Yeah, you get to handpick your own crew, and you get to pick any crew out of the entirety of space-time from the 22nd century to the 32nd. Who do you pick as your engineer? Who do you pick?
Wait, are we talking about like Starfleet crew or beings in Star Trek?
Starfleet crew, because I think otherwise it's like you're going to pick the Traveler or whatever. Well, no, he's creepy. But...
Let's say human or humanoid, right?
Well, yeah. You can't pick Mother Horta to be your engineer.
Why not?
I don't know. My brain is saying Trip Tucker.
Really?
Maybe.
A poop question, sir?
He's a really good engineer, to be fair.
Yeah, I feel like if he could go to any century, he'd figure it out. I know Scotty's the classic, but he's the sort of the default miracle worker. I want... I don't know.
Well, what's wrong with that?
Oh, I see your anti-Scottish bias, I see.
Yeah, apparently so. 7 will be pleased.
No, I'm trying to
O'Brien. O'Brien's a good choice, actually.
Brian is a good pick. O'Brien could pick O'Brien could put your ship back together with toothpicks. He's that good.
If you've got like, depends on the ship you've got. If you've got like state of the art ship, you want sort of like someone that's sort of quite familiar with working with teams. If you've got like a bucket of bolts and you just need to get it out there, definitely O'Brien.
I would probably pick Reno from Discovery.
Interesting, yeah.
He's incredibly capable.
I don't know if I can pick, but honorable mention to Spock, actually, who has a lot of episodes where he helps out or he jury-rigs something along with Scotty or like Mirror when he can disable the transporter until he gets there. And just little things here and there where he's very clutch.
Yeah.
He may not have the depth of knowledge and expertise, but he's pretty clutch. So
Well, I mean, he saved the freaking Enterprise in Wrath of Khan. That was pretty great.
Yeah, he jumps in there too, so...
Although in that situation, you get in one bad situation, you'd lose him, so he doesn't have the longevity.
Well, you don't just throw your Spock at any situation. That's what you've got the red shirts for.
I never watch Relics because he complains all the time.
He has valid reasons to complain.
But that's kind of the storyline is, he feels out of his element, he feels useless and powerless. And that's another good teachable moment where Picard sits LaForge down and he goes, look, it's not an order, it's just a personal request. Help him feel useful again. That's an important thing. And then by the end of it, he saves the ship. So
Yeah, because it is just a case of, like, especially with an engineer, when your lifeblood is staying up to date, knowing your ship inside and out, and then suddenly you're in a completely different environment in which you're not even working with Durotronics anymore. Suddenly you're working with, like, ODN relays and isolated chips and neural gel packs. It's like, yeah, of course that's going to be disorienting, and Geordie can be is a bit of a... Yeah, I know Geordie is a bit of a dick in that episode. I kind of don't understand why... and it is to set up the antagonistic thing, but it's like Scotty doesn't have an easy time with it.
But I agree, it's not a fun episode.
No,
even by the end, when he's still off, to pseudo retirement on it, it's not a fun episode. You do feel a little bit sad the entire way through.
Yeah,
but there's some good moments. There's Picard and him in the holodeck.
I love that scene.
And then the great line of a good engineer is always a wee bit conservative, at least on paper.
I do love that scene where he's like
revealing the secret of
the regulation manual 36C. It's like don't worry, I wrote it. You always make sure to be a bit conservative on paper. It's like that is the best thing. It's like when the guy literally wrote the book.
Did you reach for the book?
I did. I will do it later. We'll do it near the end, so I don't have to subject it to you now.
Why?
But we'll go there. We'll get there later.
Respect the hair flips.
We will. Oh, should we do it now? We'll go to chapter 11, shall we?
We've talked about it.
We'll talk enough. All right, we'll have a little bit of
they're here for.
So if you've missed the last entry, it was Worf, and he was fighting someone very skillful.
Yes, he was erect, as I recall.
He was fully erect, and he was fighting someone skillful. And by the end of this chapter, I believe I got to the point where he'd just been knocked out by this skillful fighter. And it was chapter 11. So 30 minutes later, Worf awoke with a hideous headache. His arms and legs were bound by rope, tying him securely to the rough purple trunk of an Arksam tree. Worf shook his head. It was a bad idea. But the sudden increase in pain made him even more alert and even angrier. From the lump on the back of his head, he could tell he had been hit by the flat of his attacker's batleth. It was the ultimate act of mockery. What a teacher did when instructing a novice. Then when he smelled something burning, wood and Krencher meat. Worf turned his head. The Katach was crouched by a fire. On a purple branch he had skewered the Krencher's gizzard. A delicacy. Worf's mouth watered despite his outrage. The Katach glanced over at Worf. He saw his wake, got to his feet and walked over to him. Worf glowered to him. The Katach, still in his robes and mask, tore a strip from the gizzard and offered it to Worf. Juices flowed down from the punctured organ, dripping onto the forest floor. The scent made Worf ravenous. The cooking had restored it to body temperature. It would be the same as eating it right after the kill. Worf turned his head. "You did not kill me," he complained. "That wasn't the point," the Kartak said. "I need you to answer my questions. Truthfully." Worf stared back at his attacker. His attacker waved the strip of gizzard before his face, then he sighed. "Are you going to deny the Krencher its reward by wasting its death? What about the hunter's bargain?" Worf clenched his jaw. The alien Katach was right. The flesh of the beast he had killed must be eaten, or else the death had been wasted. But the way the Katach had explained himself, something was wrong. "You are not Klingon," Worf said accusingly. "Eat," his attacker replied. He held the gizzard strip close to Worf, quickly snapping his fingers back as Worf bit into the meat. It was delicious. Worf could feel the power of the Krencher surge into his body. For an instant, the Arksam tree to which he was tied felt nothing more than a twig, the ropes that held him mere threads. "Oh, you can be finished in a few minutes," the Kartach said. Worf frowned at his use of minutes. That was an Earth term. The Katach studied Worf in silence for a few minutes, as if giving Worf a chance to say something. When it was clear that Worf wouldn't, he began, "Where is Jean-Luc Picard?" Worf hid his surprise. He replied by asking, "Where did a human learn batleth of the Raklo discipline?" The Katach rocked back on his heels and held up the cautionary finger hidden in his gloves. "Know your enemy," he said. Worf frowned. What was that supposed to mean? Klingons and humans are not enemies. The Kartach angled his head as if surprised. Worf didn't know what to make of it. "Since when?" the Kartach asked. For Worf, the interrogation was taking on a surreal aspect. He momentarily forgot his shame and discomfort. "Who are you?" he demanded. Again, the Kartach seemed to hesitate. "Jean-Luc Picard, where is he?" Worf took a deep breath. "I am a Starfleet officer. I will not..." "What?" Worf blinked at the Kartach. The Kartach held his hand to his side of his head, as if he felt the same pain there that Worf did. "You are in trouble," Worf said warily. "Perhaps I can help you." But when the Kartach spoke again, his voice was harsher, withdrawn. "Where is Jean-Luc Picard?" Why do you want to know? Worf asked, now genuinely puzzled by the entire situation. His thoughts of honour and death receded as he studied the stranger, his Starfleet training claiming him in their place. The Kartak's hands shot and grabbed Worf by the neck. I have to kill him! And that was all Worf had to hear. In a sudden flush of rage, his immediate reaction to the threat against his commanding officer, Worf pushed against the ropes that bound against the tree. The tree trunk creaked. The Kartak's hand tightened to Worf's throat. Worf's blood-smeared and bared chest swelled as he drew a mighty breath to roar. But the Kartak's hand unerringly found both sets of carotid arteries. He squeezed, blocking the flow of blood so that Worf's voice was effectively silenced. We'll leave it there. Till next time, till next recital.
I like the bit of that Worf's chest.
I bet you did.
Computer, erase that entire personal log.
Next time.
Very well done.
That made me think of Birthright Part 2, where it takes Talk out to the hunt, and they bring back a...
Yeah.
I really I appreciate the addition of Klingons to the Star Trek universe.
I really do.
Where they were almost kind of like the Ferengi in TOS at certain points, where they were more of a nuisance than a real threat.
I mean, you look at the very first portrayal, they are very Mandarin looking, and it's very much a... You kind of look at it as opposed to the antithesis of the Federation. You know, back then the Federation was the good old US of A, wasn't it? It was the sort of the ideals, and a little bit of that, and like a lot of the enemies were, you know, this is back in the days of when people were talking about commies and the Red Threat and all that, and it was you look at them and you think, okay, these guys are very much sort of to be the enemy.
From the Omega Glory.
Oh, the Yangs and the Combs.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, it's, But I'm glad they evolved them into a different type of stereotype, but a more fun stereotype.
Well, they're basically sort of like barbarian samurai in a way, in terms of having a code of honor. And
I like the samurai aspect of it. I think they the more they embellish into that side with their sort of, you know, you get the idiots like, the people are just like, honor, glory, and all this, but you can't...
I love honor, I demand honor.
Exactly.
I like how they weren't one note, because you hit the honor thing real big, but then you also see the levels of corruption in the government that mirrors humans, and it's like, okay, now they're...
I demand honor!
Thank you.
It's like now they have a second dimension to them, and, you see stuff like romance, and there's,
Well, especially with DS9, they take the effort to develop the society it already seen and take it to its logical extreme to the point where you get to a degree. Not only is the end of DS9 sort of like the end of Worf's personal storyline, but it's also kind of almost the end of the Klingon storyline as well. Yeah. Where it's like, if the most honorable Klingon I know is willing to stand back and let the corruption take hold of the Empire, then what hope does the Empire have to survive? And then it survives. And it's like, well, what else can you throw at that sort of like society to test it? What more?
It's going to be interesting if Discovery does turn and look at the Klingon Empire, because they've avoided it. The last season 3 and 4, they have not touched the Klingon Empire at all. There's been no mention.
Oh, because people got butthurt.
A little bit, but I really would like to see where they go with that. Definitely. And see where they are, what they're doing, and what
I found Undiscovered Country kind of interesting, because when their backs were against the wall, they turned to peace instead of fighting to the bitter end.
That was Gorkon. Gorkon was a really interesting other look at it. He was a chancellor, unlike Kempek. Kempek was the traditional Klingon High Council chancellor, a little bit corrupt, still sort of motivated by glory and personal greed, but Gorkon was very much the hero of the Empire, wasn't he? The one that stands above the people.
Both he and Azad Bur led the same way, and Gorkon wasn't toppled by Klingon extremists, he was toppled by the Federation, so it's like...
working together.
Well, yeah, but I mean...
The people who kill him were Federation.
The fact that he was, he and his daughter were ostensibly allowed to pursue peace instead of war, when really all the chips were on the table, it was interesting. You wouldn't expect that based on all the lead-up.
Well, it's almost like, I'd be interested to, because obviously at the beginning of TNG Season 1, you get that moment of this is a moment to decide whether or not humanity is a savage, childlike race anymore. If it's worthy of advancement.
Seized my vessel! Seized my vessel!
Yeah, we watched that episode too. And you see humanity pass through that threshold. The test itself is kind of meaningless. It's very obvious, like black and white, do you shoot this defenseless creature or not? But It does make you wonder, what would that look like for the Klingons, and do you think they would be able to pass the same test after a point? Because you look at most Klingons, you think of someone like, say, Martok, who is an honorable individual, but who is predisposed to violence and is not a culturally... He's not a progressive. He's like, we are Klingons, we are built on conquest, we do not assimilate, we conquer. And then you think of someone like Gorkon, or Morel, or Azetba, oh, thank you. Where you can see in those characters the capacity to evolve what Klingon culture is traditionally viewed to be, and you wonder if, say, Gorkon was tested the same way that Picard was.
But they wouldn't test them the same way. Q would have a different test for a different species, I think. I think so.
Well, no, it depends on, like, because the test is to test if you're a...
Q is one of the deepest, most intellectual characters in all of Star Trek.
Yeah.
I think he has enough depth to give them a different kind of test.
What kind of test would you give them?
That would be a longer thought experiment.
Yeah.
Which, by the you mentioned evolution. So, in Angel One,
there's the plot hook for your next STA session, by the way.
there you go. Q versus the Klingons. In Angel 1, Riker gives a speech to try to save him at the end. And he says, you can't stand in the way of evolution and martyrdom. And he essentially intimates that evolution means that women will lose power and that men will gain more power. And it's like, oh, really? It's like, is that the message, the morality speech at the end of the episode?
The garbled message is meant to be equality, but
yeah,
because Gene Roddenberry is a hack.
It didn't come up very...
I've just remembered the episode you need to watch now is Genesis. Speaking of evolution, you need to watch Troy turn into a fish person and Barclay turn into a spider.
And Picard turns into a
scared pygmy.
Yeah. Yeah, go watch
Pygmy
that.
Lemur.
That's
Pygmy Marmoset, that's what it is.
That should be added to your bad
was kind of
episode.
close.
I didn't mind Genesis. It was a creepy horror thing, but it made no sense.
I think
Genesis is episode forbidden!
Alright, Yoda. That's fucking weirdo. I think that the makeup on Protomorphosis Barclay is really genuinely impressive for a TV budget.
Didn't they win awards for that episode for the Mega?
Honestly, well deserved. Like, I think that deserves it more than Threshold did.
Yes. I can
although the tongue coming out was pretty impressive.
It was pretty gnarly, but I think if I think of that looks really good. You did that on a TV budget. It's like, ooh. That's kind of something that I think is almost a little bit missing from Stranger World, just because everything looks gorgeous and nothing looks wrong.
Yeah. No spoilers for Rev.
Well, no, I'm just saying.
It does look good though.
Everything looks so gorgeous that it's almost like that thing of art through adversity, where if you don't have to struggle, you don't create I don't know. I think there's a degree of merit to that, but I almost make me wonder. I don't look at anything in Strange New Worlds and think in the same way when I look at Barclay Spider. Maybe that's just me being old.
So we watched So what we've been doing is we pick an episode, go to Memory Alpha, read any interesting behind the scenes stuff, and then watch the episode. So in the Royale, they were saying it started out as a way different story, but they redid the story and then they cut a lot of the budget. So when they beam down to this planet, it's 2/3 of it. It's just total black void, and then there's this weird bad Photoshop,
it's Windows After Effects
storm above them, and it's this might be the worst effect shot in the entire history of TNG. I think
probably.
it is.
Yeah,
so.
it might well be.
I mean, when you have a budget like a lot of New Trek, go for it, because you're going to be able to tell stories and show stuff that they always wanted to do for decades and couldn't do. So
yeah, the production value is definitely there. We aren't going to guess what? Strange New Worlds is so good that I refuse to spoil it on principle. You should go and watch it.
So when you have watched it,
if you're available to do so in your country of choice.
When you have watched it, go and watch our review threads on the YouTube channel, which we've been doing each week. So
but only once you've watched it, because we get very spoilery.
We do get very spoilery, yes. But we save that all for them.
So yeah,
but I always see those things that spoiler-free reviews, and I'm like, what are you talking about then?
Yeah, no, I hate that. Why would you read it? Why would you read a spoiler-free review? Is it all you need to know? Is it good? Yes or no? Because anything else in that conversation is redundant.
Yeah, it's true.
Really?
Acting good.
Yes.
Music good.
So-and-so does something to someone. Oh, great. Skin of Evil.
I'm trying to think of what kind of test Q would give the Klingons.
I think it would be a test of mercy. Like, how they're capable of mercy.
That's true. Yeah, because they test the dangerous savage child race to see
What
if they can.
He sent someone back to the area of Kalis, and it turned out he was a bit of a dick, and they had to work out how to reunify the people.
Oh,
Kalis
that
was
would be
actually the
interesting.
bad
It's
guy.
like they have to reflect the ideals of Kalis as they actually are, and not as like
As he presents
they're
them.
kind of forced to have them in the current era, where it's like, yeah, Kalis, whatever, but like if you're dishonorable, it's fine as long as you win, type thing.
There's some
But
weird
if you
body
actually
swap.
had to be properly honorable, even though it cost you, that would probably be
There's
Grace
some
in
weird-
defeat.
yes, exactly, yeah.
There was some weird
Can you take a
historical
defeat
body
without-
swap, and it was actually Kalis and Jesus were swapped. And Kalis came to Earth and invented Christianity.
That's a
Jesus
TOS
went over
episode,
the
that's
Klingons
Savage
like,
Gun.
here, spit some
Jesus
bread.
is here to kick ass and take names, and he's all out of blood wine.
Can you imagine if they had put Jesus in Savage Curtain? I don't think they would have done because it would have been sacrilegious for the time.
They
but can you
would have
imagine?
gotten a bunch of write-in campaigns and then canceled the show shortly thereafter.
So instead you've got Abraham
I want
Lincoln.
to see like Jesus getting like hit with a spear, and like Caleb comes along, and it's like aha.
Yeah, he probably would have been like a slender white guy,
Yeah, he would have.
and
Well, he would have been Burt Lancaster, basically. Yeah.
I think my
or
favourite like
Burt Reynolds.
spruce.
That would have been even better.
Burt Reynolds.
Burt Reynolds.
Mustache, yeah.
Jesus Christ!
Just comes in on a Mustang.
He turns up in a Trans Am. You've been trying to cause land
He just saw an airboat and he just like blows over like a sign.
In the background is Jerry Reed somewhere, just Smokey and the Bandit. Like the Bandit starts flying in. I've got a friend of mine who is obsessed with Smokey and the Bandit. He made me sit and watch all three of them at one point. I'm just like, what am I watching? And he goes, this is brilliant. And he was sitting there next to me, reciting it word for word. I'm like, okay.
Oh God. So that's intense.
Have you guys seen the Three Amigos?
No.
No.
Really?
No.
Oh, we should all watch it together. I love that movie.
Okay.
It's a good movie.
Why can Idol do a better American accent than British? You haven't watched this show for very long. What do you mean a British
can't
accent?
speak
It's my
English very well.
accent.
Keep your shirt on, Lieutenant.
Is that a poop question, sir?
Okay, so I've got another question. This is kind of so we've been watching two Twitch channels essentially. Like one of them is Star Trek Roulette, where they basically spin through every classic. They seem to stop at Enterprise, and they had on the end of Enterprise season 3, where it goes into the stupid Nazi two-parter that began season 4, and it's really stupid. Do you guys kind of miss when Star Trek would just randomly go to World War II and fight Nazis? Do you think that Discovery and Strange New World should go and fight Nazis? I kind of think that they should fight Nazis.
I think there
kind
should
of
be
hilarious.
some
Just to keep up with the tradition, you know?
time travel shenanigans.
Yeah. Like, I want to see Pike punch a Nazi. I think that'd be good. It's not a spoiler.
Could you imagine Saru in the era of like, medieval Britain or something? That could be quite fun.
He has to pretend to be a monk. That'd be hilarious.
Sire, I cannot find armor big enough for you. You must joust tonight by dawn. He is an unholy creature.
No, you kick someone in the face and like, avast, he appears to have been slain by a horse.
This man has hooves. He must be some sort of demon creature.
See, you're already writing the episode for yourself.
It's
you go.
Lucian.
Actually, Saru in any historical situation is bound to be hilarious, and yes, they should do it.
They go to 1920s New York and we have to deal with gangsters. Can we go back to, what is it, Omicron Theta or whatever it is? What's the... Sigma Iota 2, I think it is. Did you
Is this a case of parallel planet development? No, Bones, we had that last episode.
What was the name of
This is just the uniforms that got thrown out in CBS lot.
I always say, so there's this three-parter. It's like Omega Glory, it's the one where Jesus Christ comes back, and then one other episode. And it's literally 3 episodes in a row where the plot is a disgraced Starfleet captain goes down and like changes the planet to screws with the planet, and then Kirk has to go and stop him.
Yeah.
It's like, guys, 3 in a row, really?
Yeah. Did you guys hear what the alternate version of Trials and Tribulations was going to be before they settled on that?
No.
Is it the TOS or the DS9?
So the DS9. Because they originally it was going to be the anniversary episode. They knew they wanted to do something to commemorate it, and before they settled on the Tribble episode, they had the idea that they would go back to like the DS9 crew would go back to Sigma Iosha 2, and it would be all Starfleet based, but TOS. So everyone on the planet would be wearing TOS uniforms.
But gangsters?
No, they would be all TOS style, like, and it was going to be like a commentary on fan culture and stuff like that, and they were all going to worship Kirk and McCoy and Spock and all that, because that's the Sigma Ioshan's deal, is that they worship.
This sounds like a Lower Decks episode, actually.
Honestly, if they recycled it, I wouldn't even mind. That'd be hilarious.
Yeah.
But that was the original concept before they settled on the idea of splicing in the video for Trouble Tribbles.
Use that Forrest Gump.
That'd be hilarious.
Yeah, so how about that Star Trek, guys?
That's pretty good, isn't it? You heard about that Star Trek? It's pretty good down there.
It's just so sad we have one day left.
I know. I can't believe it.
Don't be sad that it's about to end. Just be glad that it happened.
It's gonna be weird seeing you on separate screens. I'm
gonna miss it. I'm gonna miss being able to sleep in until like 10 o'clock, and then he rolls up the blinds and is like, "It's time to wake up, honey. I'll get you breakfast." And then he blows me a kiss.
What a luxury.
To be fair, on my usual days off, I get up at like 1 o'clock in the afternoon.
Bloody hell.
I'm really
I used to do
lazy.
that when I was like 18. Like I used to work at a bar. I used to start work at like 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So my usual day, wake up 2 o'clock in the afternoon, have a microwave meal for my breakfast, lunch, dinner, and then go to work. And then after work, have a burger, and then do that all in repeat. So that was my life for about 2 years until I went, maybe I should get a job and start being healthy.
I'm really looking forward to salads, actually. I'm going to have fruit and vegetable and salad for the next 2 weeks. No, I really will.
No, you're not.
Yeah.
Where's the rest of those donuts? Are they still in the fridge?
No, donuts are long gone.
So what's the ice cream count up to now?
Oh god, 20?
We didn't go today, but probably about a dozen ice
At
creams.
least. It depends on if you're going by scoops or just number of cones.
No,
Because
cones, at
I'd
least
say
a
cones,
dozen,
yeah.
yeah.
Because if we're going by
depends.
scoops, it's
Did you
20.
have different flavors? Did you have like a coffee and a lime on top or something, or did you have just one flavor?
Most of the time, I'm like, give me 2 scoops of the same, but like with
Okay.
that one,
He
with
likes lemon.
I like lemon a lot. Lemon is my favorite. But there's a place just down by the little fountain in, was it Murhausen? Whatever.
Don't tell them where I live. They're going to come beating down the doors.
What, for more ice cream?
Cucumber and lime.
Yeah, it's really refreshing.
The gin and tonic ice cream. Yeah.
I think people are down for that. Gin and tonic ice cream, that sounds like
Yes,
a good
please.
thing.
I'm there. I'm a sucker for a coffee ice cream. I love a coffee ice cream.
Coffee, really?
Yes. Yes, please. Anything coffee. Coffee cake, coffee ice cream. Oh, yes. Thank you.
He has taken a few bags of coffee back with him.
Not for me, for Mum. I think it's African blue. It's very strong. It permeates the entire living room now.
Yeah, we had to seal it in a container and then bury it underground.
It's
So
like trilithium resin.
we put a control rod on there and then beamed it off the
You'll get halfway
surface.
through. You'll get on the flight back. It'll start deactivating. We've got an emergency in the cockpit. You've got to deactivate it before it blows. And
And I was like, smells like African blue.
It sounds like a jazz number, African blue.
Play Nightbird. Play African blue, Riker. You fuck.
African blue should be in like 5/4 time with a jazz trio,
Jeff Bruback. Okay, only jazz fans get that one.
Oh,
Give me warp and a factor of 5, 6, 7, 8.
Yeah.
take 5. There it is.
No, you take 5, thank you. Oh, I need to play my keyboard more. I haven't played it enough lately. The only time I seem to play it now is when I'm making stupid theme songs for this channel.
I mean, that's more than 0.
That's true. That is true.
Oh, you got to upload. Did you upload to the channel our stupid intakes?
No, I need to do that.
Speaking
Actually.
of
No, I will
sex,
do
They
that.
need to be viewable separately.
Yes, we need to do more of those.
match
Like,
the employment.
there's infinite potential there. Like, you've done those. I'm like, yeah, let's do some more. We can all get involved in that.
Oh, at some point out, Discovery should do a Western. I would love to see a Western.
Strange New Worlds, get Pike on that horse. He would love it. Like, you could finally feel like I'm in my
yeah.
element. No, that'd be a great one. Oh, rum and raisins, a good choice. Definitely, yeah, I like that one. Sorry, back to it.
There was a really nice one I had here, which was I think watermelon on top and then like a wild berry on top, and it's like it was nice, but they had too many pits in it. It's like maybe that's just me being ignorant, but
Thank you, Tim. Rev DeMark got himself a sub. Look at that. Come join our sub channel.
okay. So I'm going to have to discount the obvious. You can't say Into Darkness. What is the worst Star Trek movie?
Ooh.
You can't say Into Darkness.
Search for Spock.
What?
Nothing happens, and then Savick sleeps with a 4-year-old.
What are you talking about?
And then as the planet breaks apart, there's like a funny fight scene with a girdled Shatner. And then the Enterprise is like a shooting star. That's my synopsis.
The Final Frontier is the worst Star Trek film.
That's in my top 3, actually.
Yeah, that's bad.
Top 3 favorites?
Yeah.
Whoa, Trekkie for Life, Voyage Home is brilliant. Voyage Home is like in my top 3, without a doubt.
Hang on, I think we have a sub trigger just for this. Can we get that in there? Can someone hit that?
Oh, sure.
Thank you.
Are you doing that one?
I think you did a little too much LDS.
Oh, I thought you could do double dumbass.
Yeah, I was thinking that. Twitch with Jay says that they hate the ending of the motion picture Idol. Do you have a rate? There we go, thank you.
TMP is classic. It shows the true evolution of man and what we can think beyond our true self into a proper alien life form that we don't know. No, I like the ending.
Yeah, here he goes.
Yeah. The Idol. So are you saying that the ultimate evolution of man is Stephen Collins' noted paedophile?
Yeah, and let's ignore that bit. Sweep that bit away.
Yes, but what is the ultimate evolution in the martial arts?
There you go.
I want them to bring Ambojitsu back. Can you imagine if we had like an episode of Strange New Worlds, and then you get Pike and like Lon doing Ambojitsu?
Yes.
Careful. Can
you imagine?
Hell yes.
It's spoiler adjacent.
Spoiler. I'm saying I want them to do it. Oh no, spoilers! In this episode of Strange New Worlds, they don't do this stupid thing from 1988 in this ultra-high premium thing flagship show.
Sorry, Trekkie for Life, what's wrong with the Wrath of Khan earworm scene? That's classic as well. You just don't. Come on, Voyage Home is great! I'm just going to play
Voyage Home's what?
Double dumbass on you!
I'm worried about our audience.
I'm not a huge Voyage Home fan either.
Really?
There's parts of it that I like, but
you don't like comedy?
I'm such an elitist. I don't like episodes or movies that feel like they were made for casuals. Like, I'm not trying to gatekeep. I'm glad a lot of people enjoy it. I just personally, it doesn't resonate with me.
I don't know, man. It's so classic. Like stuff like Spock's, like the works of Jacqueline Suzanne, Harold Robbins. Ah, yes, the greats. But stuff like that is peak Star Trek. That is the most hilarious shit I can imagine.
So I was sitting around the
Are you losing respect for me as we speak?
Well, I had never had any respect for you. No, that's untrue. That's untrue.
So we're sitting around the dinner table today, and Louise's parents came round, and they've got access, sort of like, I've got a little home media server here, and they have access to it. And his dad said, I was like, oh, I was trying to watch Star Trek, and like he said Star Trek. I mean, my ears picked up like, you never say Star Trek to me, like trying to watch Star Trek the motion picture, but the sound was in the middle. I was like, I'll get on it. You can watch this. I'm fine. I'll go downstairs. I'll see if I can fix it. See what was wrong. Let's tweak your audio settings. Let's get this. You need to watch this film.
But you know what? Voyage Home is stronger than something else just because it actually gives all the cast something to do.
Yeah, you get some good
Name a
Uhura and
single
Chekhov
thing
in
that Uhura does in Wrath of Khan. I love Wrath of Khan, but Uhura does nothing in that movie.
I don't think that should be the sole.
It isn't the sole one, but it's one of them. It's one of those things. It's like she actually gets to do something. She actually gets to have. Michelle Nichols is a talented actress. Let her do something.
Actually gets. Oh,
Red
Meghan Markle's left
red
nip is
alarm, red alarm.
Thank you.
Thank you, whom?
Meghan Markle's left nip. Okay. Anyway, yeah, Chekhov. It's a great scene for Chekhov because he has that brilliant comedy moment with him, being interrogated by the naval agents.
Chekhov's always been good at comedy, though.
Yeah, he's a good fun.
Yeah, Voyage Home's great. But no, I'd say Final Frontier is the worst.
Invented in Vladivostok.
I would say, in defense of Into Darkness,
no. Shut up.
No,
Mute him.
it's not
Mute
a
him
good.
now.
It's a
Mute him.
little bit of a defense. Most of that film is okay,
No, it's
apart from Khan and the fact it is Khan, the fact that Spock shouts Khan, and they do the whole fake out death thing with Kirk. The rest of that film is not bad, and the whole chase sequence.
No, it isn't. It's awful.
It's okay.
It denigrates one of my favorite female characters in all of fiction,
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah,
Carol
right,
Marcus. So, like,
yeah, fair enough.
this thing
No,
is
I'm
intensely
literally
personal.
picking at straws to say those are the bits that make it kind of like really bad.
No.
Yeah, okay.
This is something that is actually kind of personal to me. Is that I grew up with like Ralph Kahn. It's like one of the that and First Contact were the Star Trek movies I watched the most, and then there was like a box set that was TNG season 1. But guess which one I preferred because it was better. And growing up as a kid, it was really important to me seeing this female character who was like, she's romantically linked to Kirk, but that has long since passed. They have a moment of affection for each other, but she is otherwise an independent character with her own drives, who is allowed to be proud of her achievements, and who is not subordinate to any of the men in her life. And the best thing you can think of to do to bring back this kind of important character in like lore, and also in kind of like the development of female characters in Trek, is you get her to frickin' take her knickers off. And she stands there, and it's in every trailer. And every time I saw a trailer for Into Darkness, I was like, "How dare you? Why you? That is actively offensive to me." And like, I feel bad for the actress. I just feel bad in general. Like that, like the Khan stuff. That's obviously bad, but the Carol Marcus stuff is the bit that really gets my nerves with that.
I only watched it once, and I have like almost no memory of it.
Yeah.
Hey, so you're watching Bad Trek? There it is.
No.
There it is.
No, I refuse. I've watched it once. I'm never watching it again.
What did you think of Beyond,
I would rather watch the entirety of TAS and force my boyfriend to watch TOS, because he hates TOS, than try and do Into Darkness even once.
I think you should watch some TS. You definitely need to watch some TS tonight. Go watch.
Maybe I'll get around to it.
You should definitely, because it's TOS season 4 with a bit more of a budget issue, really. You know, because it's the animation. The animation is recycled.
I would say it's been more on this budget.
Once you get over the fact that they reuse the same animation about 50 times, and they reuse the same soundtrack.
Well, yeah, that's the Hanna-Barbera problem.
Exactly. Like, you know, you get over that. That's pretty solid stories, and there's some weird stuff as well. They can do more weird things, but it's entertaining for anything. What did you guys think about Beyond, though?
Beyond's great. You haven't seen that, have you?
I didn't watch it.
It's good. It's good.
So I watched 2009 11 times in theaters.
Wow.
I think all but once by myself. I just kept going back because it had been since Enterprise, since we had Trek, and I thought we'd never have it again for a minute. So I enjoyed it, and you know, watching back now, it's not as great, but at that time for me, I liked a lot of the stuff. I was like, hey, they're bringing back, you know, the characters were relatively close to the original series, and Beyond I liked some of the action and the writing.
Yeah, Beyond has some very good Spock and Bones moments. Spock and McCoy moments.
I think everyone is well written in that thing.
Yeah,
like, even though they're burdened with the problem of the Spock Uhura relationship, which I never thought was a very particularly strong thread to pull on, it's like it still manages to write every character at least competently, and they all get something to do, which is like you know, you point out, oh, Uhura doesn't get things, it's not as a criteria, but all the cast getting to do something is good.
I liked how like as well, like you start the episode and Kirk's tired, like you can tell, like Chris Pine does a great job. I find, you know, he's exhausted from, like, you can tell it's been many years they've now served on the Enterprise, and he's just like, is this it? Is this all I'm gonna do? And he kind of portrays that almost sort of start of Wrath of Khan Kirk energy to it, where he's just like, you know, sort of exhausted admiral. Is this all? You know, what am I gonna do with everything? And it's great. It's a good solid little episode. Yeah, like Chatter said, it's a great little episode. It's a good two-parter, as it were, like Insurrection or things like that. It kind of fits in that vein of things.
I think kind of the only, well, I didn't love the actor's portrayal as much either. Chris Pine, Carl Urban, and Anton Yelchin, I enjoyed. The rest, I could leave that, especially Spock and Uhura. I just felt like these aren't really the characters, really.
Well, with Zachary Quinto, it's like I think he got kind of handed a poison chalice, where like
possibly
it's not an easy role to step into, and I feel like Ethan Peck has been either very, very fortunate or just very, very good at his job to manage to translate that Nimoy-ness so much better than I think Quinto ever managed to get across. Man, that's what happens when you bring up Kelvin. It just kills the conversation.
It does, doesn't it? Well, I think we can probably
Keep going.
start. Oh shit! All right. Well, look. What's on the bucket list for the rest of your trip in Germany? What's left to happen before you sail the starry skies?
Bikini on at least once more.
I'm not putting the bikini on.
Come on.
Got to drop off the airport now.
Come on.
I've eaten nothing but meat and cheese and starch
And sugar.
and rice and sugar this last 9 days. I ain't putting the bikini back on.
Those are all the food groups. You're fine.
Are you going through the Dr. Nick Sanchez? No, what's it? Nick Riviera. Sorry, method of diet.
Hi, everybody.
Yes. If it makes the paper transparent, it's good.
Flammable means it's flammable? What a country.
No, I think our bucket list is kind of tapped out. There were one or two things I wanted to take him to, but
Flavor time.
I'll have to wait for the next trip, I guess. I think we're just going to watch TV. We're going to pull an all-nighter, watch more Trek. There's a restaurant. I'll take him for lunch, and then he's shipping off, so...
And then he'll be watching from the tarmac like...
Na, 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 na. Yeah. A tear rolling down his eyes.
And then it just cuts to me in the plane, and I'm like... I've loved anyone like I loved him.
This is
I'm
going to
holding him
Miami.
in a fart for 9 days, and as soon as he leaves, I'm just
You're gonna
gonna
level the country. What the hell?
unbutton the pants and relax.
You finally take off the
This
shirt.
guy worried about decorum.
All right, let's end this chill out and go get stressful somewhere. We'll be back. Well, I'll be back on Wednesday. I don't know about you guys, so see what's happening. But I'll be back on Wednesday for some Timelines talks. I think you guys... Things are going to be a little up in the air the next few weeks.
I think we'll do a normal Wednesday. Hey, maybe by Wednesday we'll get event info.
No, we won't.
Okay.
Compete for something.
Yeah. So, yeah.
By the way, event update. No name namers in third place. Not for long, he's going to overtake all of them.
Fucking do it, Namer.
Yeah, Namer, he's our
got
man.
it,
If he
baby.
can't do it, no one.
Idle, I have to ask a question.
Please.
What are we doing next game night?
We are doing Legacy, because I've got it
Oh,
to work.
nice! I
I got
win.
it to work. I think I'll come back to Klingon Academy. I want to revisit that, but I want to...
I would certainly keep coming back to Klingon Academy because that is a fun game and I think people will enjoy it.
I want to get a little bit... I'm going to do a bit of practice in the combat and just see if I can get that nailed down. Actually, maybe I'll invest in...
I
maybe
think
I'll see if I
Chip's
can work on my
challenge
iPad.
won the last vote, actually.
Chips challenge. All right,
Give
maybe
me 15 minutes of Chip's challenge next stream, alright?
we'll work it out. My people will talk to your people. We'll see if we can
Don't
figure
give
it
me
out.
that look. It's a classic game.
Chips challenge, that notorious Star Trek game. And on that note, we will see you next Wednesday. Keep an eye on... Go to our YouTube page and look at our Strange New Worlds review. Party with us all the time, as we'll be back on Wednesdays. But from me and the guys for now, ta-ra!